Hi, good evening, everyone. And Politics Plus podcast is live. So just waiting for a few people to come on in. Hey, Mark, I see you. I'm letting you in.
Look at that lovely face.
Hey, Marcus, how are you, buddy?
How are you? Let
Good.
me get my eye.
Uh-oh, I think he's having some issues. Yeah, you had a little, you froze for a little bit there, but you're back.
Where are the ladies?
That's a great question. They should be coming in soon.
Tell you what, how's your cold doing, man? I got a nice little head cold going on.
You know what? I woke up this morning feeling just, I'm gonna use the term loosely under the weather, but as soon as I got outside, and got that nice, New York
Yeah,
State air,
yeah.
I was okay. I'm pretty good. I'm a lot better than I was
Yeah.
yesterday.
I gotta bring this foolish lamp back, this circle, this ring light. It's terrible.
Yeah, let me bring Macy in. She's here. Um, but yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. Thanks for asking. How
Good.
are you doing? Are you still?
Tell you what, I was doing good earlier today, but I got whacked about an hour ago. I got runny nose and yeah. Hi.
Hiya.
Hey, Mace, there
I
she
guess
is.
am I going to get stuck down here and then all the lettering, all the wording again like I was last week?
No, as soon as Mel gets on, you'll be bumped up top.
So Macy, I guess there's an incentive to coming early. You don't want to get stuck in that corner.
Oh, I don't give a shit. I'm going to be in that corner, and I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I think you can.
I'm good with it.
Here's
I think,
Melly.
Mark, there's a way to take the comments down.
Is there? I like
There
reading
should
them,
be. I
but
mean,
I hate being stuck in the lower corner where I can't,
all right. I'm
You're
bringing
not going to be.
I'm bringing
I
Mel
know,
in.
yeah, I know.
See?
Hi,
You were
everybody.
right, Macy.
I told you I'm going to be in the upper corner. You here to give me kisses?
I know.
Hi, Mel.
Hey guys.
Mel doing? Yeah, it's all four of us. What are you doing on the combo?
Hey, Mel, how are you?
Good, just coming home.
Okay.
Hi, Mel.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. It's good to see everybody. Love these people that I'm with live right now. I have a special place in my heart for these individuals. Okay, so I just wanted to welcome everybody to the live, everybody who's in the comment section, everybody who's just coming on for the first time or who's been here before, welcome. We do our weekly lives, the Politics Plus podcast team. We go live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. on IG Live. So just stop on in, say hello, ask questions, get to see your favorite people. Just wanted to do a little rundown of what we may be talking about tonight. I mean, it may change. We're looking to talk about we're looking to talk about the battle for free speech. Again, as most of you have heard, Elon Musk has purchased Twitter. We'll talk about expectations and stuff that we are hoping might happen. We're also gonna, we also have two exciting lives tomorrow, and the gals are gonna have their live early in the morning. It's like kind of like a breakfast a
It's
breakfast.
chatting over coffee. It's girl talk. What better to do with girls than drink coffee and talk politics? Like, come on now.
Well, I can think of something, but this isn't a,
That's exactly right, Macy. And then the guys are going to have a little politics, politic guys chat in the evening. So make sure you guys are on the lookout for that. But I wanted to start off tonight's live with Mel's conversation yesterday with this really sweet, smart, patriotic individual who's running for Mel. Is it school
board?
School board, and he's we'll let everybody know you're in New York, and it's the school board for Long Island. And your conversation yesterday was just awesome. I really learned a lot about him. He's really a true patriot, and exciting things.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and hopefully he wins. He has a lot to bring, and hopefully there's some changes that happen in that Longwood school district. Yeah, fingers crossed.
he was definitely wired, wasn't he?
He was so much fun, and he was like so passionate about just making it so that politics was brought back to the people. And I think that's what my biggest takeaway from listening to y'all talk. Like, I kept going, I wish I could vote for him, because he was so passionate about it shouldn't be so hard to show up to a school board meeting. Like, you should be able, if you have a question, you should be able to get in touch with your school board member. Like, it was very basic stuff. But he was like driven that we needed to make it basically come back to like the small town halls. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, because they've taken that away.
Yeah.
If there are more people like that out there, we'd be in a lot better shape. That's for sure. I thought it was kind of odd when I first got on. He just kept on going. I thought, is Mel gonna be able to talk to this guy? But the more he talked, the more I enjoyed listening to him talk. I mean, he was really on it. I mean, it was great.
Yeah,
well, pretty much. I just wanted him to voice out on my platform, because what they're doing it through Facebook, and through Facebook you can't really answer questions. So I just thought of, hey, why don't you just come on my live, and then you can voice out your what you want to do on live, and people will be able to hear it as opposed to you writing it.
Yeah.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah.
I think what I enjoyed, Mel, was when you said that you met him at a board meeting, pretty much not knowing who he was or what he was gonna, or if he was gonna be running. Yeah.
Well, so that was our first board meeting, his and myself and my husband. So this was the board meeting before school started, and it was a little chaotic, but what transpired afterwards, a group of us became good friends. So, and he was one of those people, and he like you guys said, he's a true patriot because he loves our country. He wants to do something for the schools, and this is, I think this is an amazing opportunity for him, and I'm really hoping he wins.
Yeah, no,
I can't imagine him not winning.
Listening to you guys, he sounded like very
Can you
down
imagine
to
him not
earth,
winning?
and like very down to earth, and like kind of the guy that just rolls up his sleeves and just gets in the trenches and gets to work.
Yeah.
Nah, it was very nice of you to have him on, and I think it was I believe it was his first ever IG live.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so.
I can't imagine the guy not winning, Mel. I mean, the guy he's well spoken. He's right to the point. I mean, the guy is passionate. I mean, I don't know how you can not win.
Well, we'll see, because we have other candidates too. So.
Yeah, but are they that good? I mean. When I said last night, it's a shame he's only running for school board, because he belongs a lot higher up than just school. I mean, I don't mean to diminish the school board, but it's.
But it's better to start small.
What's that?
It's better to start small.
Exactly, and that's what he had said. He had said that like he never intended to run for school board. It just kind of happened because he started getting active, and that's one of the things I've noted. I was telling Mel earlier today. I got the person who's running for mayor out in my area. They actually got in contact with me yesterday and were like, hey, you want to help the campaign? And I'm like, I don't know, answer some questions for me. I got questions, you know. But
Yeah.
I think that that's how it starts, is that you put your face out there, you put your name out there, you show I give a shit. And then once that happens, all of a sudden people start going, man, you should really run for something. Man, you should really do this. And that's how he kind of fell into it. And so once he has the experience on the school board, most likely his son will be a little bit older and he'll be ready to throw himself into something maybe a hair bigger.
Yeah.
Speaking of his son, I think that's what kind of was the driving force for him to do that. And pretty much what Mel alluded to, like, you know, sometimes you either stay and fight or run. Most people run, but you have to stay and fight. And I think that's what Mel's doing. And Michael, like, you know, you staying and fighting for your kids, you putting up that fight, because, you know, it's either, you know, you fight and you run, and then you're probably going to run into the same situation down the road.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a very great live you guys have. So you guys could go check that out on Liberty Mel's page. I think it should be up. It's the latest post.
It is up.
Okay, good.
It is up. Go check it out.
Yeah,
it's actually very good.
Good.
I want to make that comment so bad, Redneck
Macy
Blonde.
for president.
I'd be a fun president.
Oh
I'd
yeah.
fuck some shit up.
You know,
Dude,
I don't believe that for one.
Macy would start the first Libertarian Party.
dude, you know, this is what such shit is like. So I'm being asked to help with a Republican campaign, right? And I'm like, is it okay that I'm not a Republican? Like, I support you because all y'all are never going to put a libertarian up there. But I listened to Tom Fitton talk the other day about how much he loves the two-party system. And y'all know I'm completely against the two-party system because it makes it so easy for people to not actually research a candidate. They're like, oh, he's blue, I'll vote him. Or, oh, he's red, I'll vote him. And I'm like, no, it doesn't matter if it's the same sex as you. It doesn't matter if it's the same religion as you. That one kills me. It doesn't matter if they're the same party. You could still be a completely terrible human being.
Yep.
Well, we see
same party.
it time and time again, haven't we? Same religion, same race, same political it doesn't really matter. I mean, we've seen a lot of bad stuff coming from our parties, our people,
our president. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking of coming from our president, have y'all seen that the Ministry of Truth is trending right now? It was actually the #1 top trending thing on Twitter.
Are you talking about Truth Social?
No. Ministry of Truth is
a
George Orwell. It's from 1984.
All right.
So the Biden administration, Department of Homeland Security, is to create a disinformation governance board. And they're saying that that's essentially because it's dedicating to countering misinformation. So we're all fucked. But they're saying that it's basically a ministry of truth, you know, like it's based on, okay, this is what we're going to feed the people.
Who's truth?
Do what? Well, exactly. That's the problem. In 1984, they talk about how the ministry of truth, if somebody they can literally make a person just disappear. Like they go back and they change articles so that person doesn't exist anymore. Yep. And they make them look like a bad guy opposed to a good guy. And I'm like, who can I think that we've done that with? Cough, cough, Florida.
See, now, Mace, you bringing that up. Now I'm tempted to. I mean, we still have this first season of the Politics Plus podcast. I'm pushing. I'm leaning towards doing a George Orwell episode where we're talking about 1984. We're talking about just one episode dedicated to this. What do you guys think?
I think we should.
I think we're being forced to.
I mean, I think that everybody should, Alan West said that everybody should read Up From Slavery by Booker T. Washington, which is what I'm currently reading right now. But I think that 1984 should be in every public school. It should be everywhere because it's crazy to just look at. It seems so outlandish, but as you're reading it, you're sitting there going, okay, oh, well, that's not so outlandish. I've seen something kind of like that happen. And once you've read it, it's imprinted, you know, then everything you look at, you're like, that's Orwellian.
Yeah, I definitely have to look at that book right now. I just got an
Me
audio
too.
version of Thomas Sowell's Basic Economics. And I'm just finished the first chapter. And
Love
surprisingly
him.
enough, I think that was the book Mike Tyson was reading on the flight when he had that incident.
That's what I heard. I heard that too.
Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna after I finish reading Basic Economics, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to reread 1984 again, just to refresh my memory, because I know there's a lot of things that are occurring now, especially what Macy said about this truth ministry. And again, whose truth? Is it gonna be, you know, the real truth, the left's truth, and also this has a lot to do with Elon Musk just
Yeah, I was gonna say that because
yeah. So
it can.
that's a great segue. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Mel.
No, I was just gonna say that I read just briefly on it, and it's a coincidence that it came out today when this guy ended up buying Twitter yesterday. So, yeah, fun times for us, huh?
All right, let me bring Macy back. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, so obviously the big news out now is Elon Musk, and he purchased, you know, Twitter. Any thoughts from you guys? Any expectations? How do you guys feel about that? What's the consensus on the big of him dropping $44 billion to like?
Well, I know my stock went down $4 a share today.
Yeah.
and so did yours, my friend.
You win some, you lose some.
Oh, yeah, I'm not worried about it. Look, I'm not really worried about it at all. But I'm just glad someone's in there that claims they're gonna bring back freedom, you know, free speech, you know, and let everybody just hash it out. It's great. It's refreshing. So I haven't gotten back on Twitter yet, but I need to, I guess. I actually enjoyed it when I was first on it, and then I wound up getting off like, I don't know, 4 years ago or so, because I couldn't get out. All my stuff was just completely clamped down. So I said,
I
see
feel
you
that way
later.
about Facebook.
Yeah, I'm on
I have
Facebook
so
too.
much stuff on Facebook, but like I can't deactivate my Facebook. It still exists. I just don't ever get on it. And I'm like a cache of all like my
Yeah.
great pictures.
I haven't been on Facebook for probably 12 years now. You know,
Is
I
it
don't really miss it.
when you guys talk about Facebook? Is it your political side or your personal side?
Personal.
It's both for me. Political is what got me in trouble on Facebook. I mean, I was canned, you know, after so long on Facebook. I didn't really care about social on Facebook. I was more on there to hash it out with politics, but that didn't last very long. So
I never started a Facebook. My wife has a Facebook. Some of my really close friends have Facebook. I never started Facebook. Never started a Facebook, and I don't think
don't
I
bother.
will.
So what are y'all?
The reason I mentioned about, you know, when you said something's trending, Macy, is because I had heard today that Truth Social is the #1 and #2 downloaded app right now.
It is
Yeah.
Really?
So
for
when you
Apple.
said,
For
okay,
Apple.
well, when you said that, I thought you were talking about Truth Social, a site that I still can't get on. But a friend
Me
of
neither.
mine,
I don't have Apple.
a friend of mine texted me actually this morning and said he loves it. So he said, I will not ever go back to Instagram again.
So quick
Huh?
question for you guys. So Mark brings up a good point about Truth Social being #1, #2. Do you think that the powers that be, and the powers that be is lack of a better phrase, could have let this purchase by Musk to kind of you know, hurt Trump, to hurt the right wingers who are now, you know, migrating to Truth Social to, you know, maybe take a second look or a second thought and head back to Twitter and bring business to Twitter? What do you guys think?
That may have been the idea, but it isn't happening yet. I mean, you don't #1,
Well,
#2.
Well, no,
without,
Mark.
you know,
Mark, there are a lot of conservatives who have just recently, like Mark Levin, who I listened to his podcast. He started up his Twitter again. He's been like MIA from Twitter for 2 or 3 years. Yeah, because of the
a lot
suppression.
of people have.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson everybody has migrated back to, and obviously these are elite like up in the totem pole of conservative Republicans, but I think is that a good way to draw back, you know, the masses? And
It's actually a nice platform. I didn't care for Parler. I thought Parler was horrible. I thought the other one there, Getter, was horrible as well.
Getter is ghetto. We already established that.
Getter.
So when I said that Twitter was a good platform, Macy, I mean, Mel, why did you kind of chuckle?
Because I never had Twitter to begin with. It never caught my interest, and it still won't catch my interest. So, you know, doesn't matter who brought it, who didn't buy it. I'm not gonna get on it.
Well, you know what's interesting? You know what's interesting about Twitter?
What?
Back in 2020, they actually did a Pew Research study that concluded that 10% of U.S. adults on Twitter were responsible for 80% of all tweets on Twitter.
Wow.
Okay? And so with that being said, it also says Twitter has outsized, this one is by CBS News, Twitter is an outsized role in politics, but new poll finds that 29% get political news from it. So only 29% of people are using Twitter for political purposes. But
right.
They make it seem like all Twitter is politics, you know? And for a lot of people, that's just because that's who you follow, opposed to, I mean, there are plenty of people who only use Twitter to look at kitten videos or, you know, to find out about knitting or whatever the hell it is they use Twitter for. But I think it's interesting to note that when it comes to politics, 10% is responsible for 80% of the content out there.
There's some individuals that I follow on YouTube and Twitter, and some people that I know personally that just use Twitter for just movie information, whether it's comic book movies, action movies, new blockbuster movie premieres, that nothing to do with politics. It's all about, you know, the director of the movie, the writer of the movie, who's starring in the movie, when's the movie come out. So yeah, Macy, to your point, I do believe that that's kind of misleading when, you know, you think just politics when you think Twitter, but it's the contrary.
But can we take a moment and say what it must be like to be the Babylon Bee and have a friend like Elon Musk willing to buy it? They kicked us off Twitter, bought it.
See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so Elon wants to add all these new features, and he wants to make sure that all the interaction that happens on Twitter, all the likes, all the comments are actually authentic, and they're not bots, and they're not, you know, people from other countries, you know, just starting these fake accounts. And there was a meme that I saw that, you know, Joe Biden was going to get off of Twitter because once they do that, like half of his followers are going to disappear because they're saying that, you know, half of his followers are
dead
robots.
followers or his live followers?
Both, like, you know, like, there's a majority of his followers that are bots, and that was so funny. That was really, really funny. And there's talk about that they might have a subscription for Twitter where you have to pay a monthly fee. And also I heard an edit button to edit your tweets.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark will appreciate the edit button.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Mark would be a great.
That's very true.
Mark would be a great spokesperson for that edit button.
Yeah. Can't you friggin' edit yet? For shit's sake.
We do it just to fuck with you.
Yeah,
I know.
We do it just to get a raw out of you.
Yeah.
But some interesting news that I found out about Elon Musk. He started PayPal, and he sold it to eBay for $1.5 billion. I did not know that. I researched that, and yeah, and I'm talking about the Elon Musk that was balding, so you know he's wearing like
before surgery.
Before the plugs, right.
Plugs, and he had some Botox done.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so I think Mel did better research than I did.
She definitely did different research.
Yeah,
Let's go that
she definitely did different research. That's right.
Yeah, different research.
I found that interesting. So that's how he broke into the scene by creating this PayPal app, and I think all of our followers, even myself, I had PayPal once. I don't have it anymore. But he
No,
created
never
that
had PayPal.
He created that PayPal platform and sold it to eBay. Or that's interesting. That's how he became a billionaire. But yeah, so free speech. Will free speech be impacted? Do you guys think free speech will be impacted with this purchase by Elon Musk?
Was Chase, JP Morgan still helping him? Because if they were, then there's going to be a little bit, some restriction.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have to worry about their money too.
Well, and I think that it has to be noted that his intention is to give a platform back to free speech, but it doesn't necessarily mean, like, I've don't get me wrong, I have thoroughly enjoyed everyone exercising their free speech. As soon as it was purchased, you saw people coming out going, haha, you still ended up on the bottom with me, Mark. So
Am I on the bottom with you? Am I on the bottom with you?
Yes, you
are.
are.
I'm on the top now.
But I think that it's interesting when you look at it, because everybody came out going, you know, the election was fill in the blank. The January 6th was a fill in the blank. So, like, everybody, there was this immediate outpour of, I can actually say what I want to say. Like, and I think that that was so freeing. And I think that anonymity, we've talked about this a couple of times, but I think that anonymity gives people the option to be the worst part of themselves. But in the same instance, you have the right to be the worst part of yourself. What we're looking for is people to choose to use their freedom of speech in a positive and constructive way.
I agree with you, Macy. I think a lot of the people that were banned prior to Elon Musk purchasing Twitter were banned because they were, quote unquote, spreading misinformation, whether it was COVID, whether it was the insurrection, whether it was the 2020 elections.
Or just plain stupidity.
Yeah. Or just, you know, saying, you know, men are men and women are women. Just and women are the only ones that can reproduce and, you know, have babies. People were just getting thrown off of Twitter. And I think hopefully, I mean, fingers are crossed, we still have to see what happens with this purchase. Hopefully things can be better in terms of free speech and people are allowed to express their opinion. But Macy, I agree with what you're saying, totally.
I think we're going to see a lot of it get ugly. But I mean, we may not, because I mean, like I was just reading, there are more Democrats on Twitter, but they tend to not post as much. They just use it to read. Yeah. So the thing that I find really intriguing is all of these people that are like, mass exodus from Twitter. I'm leaving Twitter. This is my goodbye, whatever. And I'm like, you're kicking yourself out. Like, nobody kicked you out, but you're going to bitch and you're going to complain. They kicked me off Twitter. No, nobody
kicked yourself out.
Yeah.
Trying to make a story out of nothing.
But I think also that goes to, Macy, your point, like, you know, obviously prior to this purchase, Twitter had some community standards or whatever their community guidelines were. And I believe misinformation was in there, and misinformation was taken as, oh, you can't talk about this, or you can't tweet about this, or you can't reply to somebody who says, you know, trans men or trans women are men and women. Are the same as biological women. I think hopefully their community guidelines and their standards get changed as well, because that's important.
I want to know why they wouldn't want to have open dialogue in the first place. I mean, that you know, I don't want to say fighting, but that's what creates that desire to want to be on there, seeing people go at it. So you would think that would actually draw people, or
people want to be in an echo chamber.
What's that?
People want to be in an echo chamber. They want to be surrounded by people that believe like they believe. And that's the thing. When you look at communities, that's why when you look at a map for voting, you see all these different areas, because you tend to live around people that believe the same way that you believe. You know, you tend to associate with people who believe the same way that you want to believe. And I think that it's hilarious that now that they don't feel like they're going to be the majority, they're like, peace, bitches.
Is it?
You mean
basic-
whining like little babies?
I think it's fantastic.
Is it safe to say then that prior to this purchase, Twitter was a safe space for people
If you
who
lean
share?
to the left.
Oh,
Right.
totally.
If you lean to the left, correct.
Undoubtedly. Yeah. But I mean, that can be said for every platform. Every platform is more friendly if you have mainstream views. But once you start stepping outside of the box or refusing to check a box, then all of a sudden you're public enemy number one. You're not allowed to talk. Look at Mel. Mel started her Instagram. The very first post that she posted said politics in it, and instantaneously her account with one post and 0 followers was banned. You know, like,
what a troublemaker.
Have you seen what kind of rascal? Have you seen what kind of rascals Mel's milk mixed in with?
Yeah, I had one last night.
We got some
You know,
infamous
out
people
of the
here.
4 of us, Mel would be the last one I would think would be the one that would be getting, you know, beat up by Instagram.
Hey, listen, do not sleep on Liberty Mel. Okay, that's mistake number 1.
truth.
But to Mark's point, I think that echo chamber. So what it is, Mark, once you start exchanging ideas, you start realizing
That's it.
who makes sense and who doesn't, who's rational and who's irrational.
And then you get ousted.
Yeah, the left right now, all their ideas are irrational.
But think about Twitter like a restaurant that you frequent, right? Think about it like a place that you go all the time. When you go someplace that you go all the time, do you tend to get the same thing? Yeah, because you have certain tastes that you like. You have certain, things that you don't like. And I think that what happened is all of a sudden they changed the cilantro at this restaurant that they do not like, and now they don't want to come back. And that's fine,
Yes, exactly.
So I just, that's the way that I've started looking at it is this is not their taste. This is not what they want. And that's fine. Like they said, start your own. How many, as we were going through this entire process of being booted from everywhere, I remember there were multiple weekends where I was sitting going, holy crap, everyone is gone. Michelle was gone. Danny was gone. Like all of these people just disappeared off Instagram. And then they're like, oh, we're back now. And I'm like, we went through this period of time where everybody was disappearing. Everybody was shadow banned. And now,
I hate that. I hate it.
Well, Danny, that's why
they believe that's going to happen to them.
That's why Danny and I hooked up outside of Instagram, and I did with several of my followers that I cared about. I said, I even made a post about it, I think, didn't I, Danny? About how we all need to, if you have someone on Instagram or social media that you actually care about, that you actually like, but your only way of communicating is through this site, you need to exchange phone numbers, because at any given moment, you might be gone or they might be gone, and you'll always wonder what happened to Danny.
That's
Can't
a
get a
great
hold of him
point.
anymore. So I've got a whole slew of people in my phone. I've got Danny, IG, not anymore. I mean, it probably says PPP like it does on their mail, because of the podcast. But I've got several people on my phone where I had their first name and it says .Instagram or IG, so I know where they came from, And so, and every now and then I reach out to people that I still haven't hooked back up with. But the point is, if the poo-poo would hit the fan and you couldn't get a hold of your friends because that site went down or they kicked you out or whatever, I can get a hold of, whoever, so they know I still care about them, right? So that's what I did. That's why Danny, you and I were still connected.
Yeah.
After I got off.
And when I saw that post, I think that was like because you had an account before this one, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that post, I DM'd you instantaneously. I was like, Mark, here's my number, whatever you need.
Yep. And I've got several people that I still talk to on my cell phone that I haven't seen on Instagram for 3 months. And probably will never will see on Instagram again. I don't know. But I'm still connected to those people, so that's important, I think.
I agree.
What I want to know is, someone with a mind like Elon Why didn't he just build his own social media platform? Because he could have done it for a lot less than 44 billion. And he could have, with his mind, he could have created a all new, even though Twitter is a good platform, he could have made it better than Twitter. He could have rode on the old freedom of speech wave for a long time and had everybody join his site because of that wave he was on with freedom of speech and with free speech, bringing back what Twitter got rid of, and rather than buy Twitter. So I'm not really sure why he thought he needed to buy Twitter.
To be spiteful.
Oh, that's probably a good share of it.
But I think that Twitter, Trump decided to make this platform because he wanted to compete with Twitter, right? Twitter was a powerhouse. Regardless of if you were on that side or you were not outside, Twitter was a powerhouse. And Elon Musk...
It's the biggest social media site in the world. Exactly.
He likes to have his hand in the biggest cookie jars that he can find. And I respect that because he is one of those people that he goes in and he looks at it, I guess, in a mathematics standpoint, pluses and minuses. We can plus this if we minus this. We can, and that's the overhaul and this takeover of Twitter is going to be crazy, but I'm looking forward to seeing what it does. And I'm one of the very few on here who I do have a Twitter. I enjoy my Twitter. My husband is constantly on Twitter. Yeah, me and Danny.
I'll be on again.
I enjoy Twitter. It was it was
Mel.
so
Does
hard
that laugh again?
because you can't. You couldn't for years say openly what you wanted to say. And let's face it, I'm not good at holding my tongue. When I want to say something, I want to say it,
I don't believe that for 1 second.
No, Macy, I agree. It's people even people who have accumulated hundreds, thousands of followers, and then just for speaking your mind, speaking your honesty or whatever is true, you lose your account, you lose your followers, and then to start that up again. So, Mark, to your point, Elon Musk purchased Twitter because look how long Truth Social took turnaround time-wise to get started. Their prototype, they were hitting all these walls, and then they finally released. Elon Musk now has everything he needs, and Twitter is big. And like Mel said, it could have been out of spite. I think so too, because he has now the liberals by the balls. That was the liberal hangout spot.
Yeah.
Whether you were an actor, athlete, anybody in corporate America, anybody in the government side, that was the hangout spot. That's what you got your information. That's where you got your misinformation. And now he has that by the balls.
All right. Sports guy was just asking a question. I'm not sure you saw that. I just lost it. I don't know where it went.
I got it. What do you think
read that?
Elon has for an end game regarding Twitter? Oh, that's a great question.
Oh, I was going to ask the same thing.
Well, number one sports guy, you and Mel are sharing the same frequency.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
So Mel, what do you think? What do you think the end game here is?
Honestly, I think he's just going to end up selling it. He'll probably have it for you and sell it. Yeah, I think so.
That's a strong possibility.
He wouldn't make any money on it, probably.
I'm not saying he's going to sell it right away.
No.
But I think he's going to end up selling it.
I could see that happening in a year or two, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like any other toy he gets. He's going to want to play with it for a while first, and then eventually he'll be like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, the next one.
Yeah.
But I think he will make his money back. I do.
You guys hear that huge sneeze just now?
No, but I know you trying to drink ice and you try to black yourself.
Well, I took my earbud out and I put my thumb over my camera because I have a head cold and I had this huge sneeze. I didn't want you guys to hear it. But yes, I am drinking my.
So you don't need to black yourself out. You can still hear it.
I tell you what, every spring I get a damn head cold. It's miserable. Every spring, like clockwork.
Do y'all have like bad pollen up that direction?
Not right now.
Well, not.
It's
Yeah,
not a
in some
lot, but
places.
it's there because it's
It,
triggering my kids' allergies.
yeah, I know where Mel and I are. It's a lot of open space,
Yeah.
so the air carries
Yeah.
different things.
When I go out to my car in the morning, I have to windshield wipe pollen off of my windshield.
Yeah.
Like Tennessee don't play when it comes to a pollen
Yeah.
count.
So
Okay,
yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that. I
I'm
remember
starting
that.
to see that. I'm starting to see
Yeah.
that.
that's why every morning when y'all hear me in the chat, I sound like a man. Like I just woke up. Yeah. So, fun story. Thanks President Biden is trending, and the responses on this are hilarious. Do what?
No, go ahead, Macy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. A Tesla stock cost, or a Tesla Model X cost $106,000 expensive, but to drive it for 111 years, I'll pay it. Tesla Model 3, it pays itself over 47 years. If you get a Prius, you only have to wait 26 years to save money. Thanks, President Biden. Thanks for the highest inflation, highest gas numbers, worst inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices in history, record high crime across America, record high illegal immigration, 13 dead Marines in Afghanistan, and World War III on the rise.
Wow, that's just all? That's just
That,
all?
that's in his it's like first year, right?
When
Yeah.
I see him on camera floating around like he has no idea where he is, I think to myself, am I dreaming this? Because Trump was so different, was so the opposite of that. And I see Biden now, and I think this can't be happening. This cannot really be our president.
He needs to go to a nursing home.
I hate to say it, but you're right. That's what he reminds me of, a dementia. How old is he? 80 years old. I mean, I'm not bashing age. My dad's 79 years old and sharp as a tack. But this guy is like,
He's dying.
It's really to see him
dead
on camera. To see it.
They bring him back to life every morning. Okay.
To have Jill have to say to him, wave to the crowd. Oh. I mean, it's really something that we went from Trump to this.
I know.
It'd be one thing to go for someone like Obama to this or Clinton to this, but from Trump to this.
Listen,
wow.
I know people had issues with Trump, and I'm a Trump supporter, but I will, pull his card when I need to. But at least the man had a spine. At least he had the balls to tell off reporters. I remember one time there was they had caught Trump getting on this plane, and he was accusing these reporters of being criminals because they didn't go after the Biden family. They let everything slide. There was all this information pointing to, Ukraine and Hunter Biden and Trump just let that reporter have it. And like, people have issues with Trump, but at least my
I
man
loved his style.
has a spine, man.
I love
not
his
like
style.
this bozo.
Oh my gosh. Can't even speak right.
I mean, neither can the vice president. Neither can the freaking Speaker of the House. Literally, Speaker is in her job title, okay? And the bitch cannot put together a cohesive sentence. Look, and
Have you guys noticed when Kamala Harris speaks, she has that same mouth movement that used to drive me crazy that Obama had? That little... I can't even.
Yeah, you comparing?
It drives me wild to see it.
Are you insulting Kamala Harris and Obama in the same breath? You racist.
It's just racism, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness, it is.
I promised Macy I was gonna play this for. So if you guys go check out Macy's page, she has this.
Did I say Facebook?
She has this great post with this song.
Me and all my bros walking into Twitter.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I saw that.
That's a great. I was like, I put in the comments. I was like, Macy, I'm gonna throw this on tonight. So there it is. So I think we got about 15 minutes left, and I just wanted to talk about tomorrow's a big day for every one of us.
Huh?
And I know the ladies gotta be sharp, right? When the crow is crowing.
When the rooster crows.
Yeah, so we have
Yeah.
two lives. We have two lives tomorrow. The Politic Gals are gonna have one at 8:30 in the morning with Kendall, right?
Kendall
And
in Kentucky.
Kendall in Kentucky, and she's never gone live before. She's great. She has great content. She's awesome, and it's gonna be the first live ever on IG with Mel and Mace, and I suspect you guys are very excited.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
Yes.
I prepped her today, and I'm actually even more excited about it now because she's like, no holds barred. Like, I typically ask everybody, I'm like, hey, is there anything specifically you don't want to bring up in the live, anything you don't want to touch on so we can make sure to steer clear of it? And she's like, no, if we're going to talk, we're going to talk. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is, and I'm like, oh my God, we're going to get along so good. Like, and we had a great little chat earlier about the whole thing, and she is pumped. She's so excited about it. And I'm really looking forward to me and Mel getting a chance to talk to her because I think we're just going to have a blast.
Yeah, I'm really pumped for you guys, and her saying that no topic is off the table. I'm sure she has a lot of things she wants to say, a lot of things she wants to express. So that's going to be very interesting and awesome. And it
So
happens
get your
tomorrow.
coffee and come at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, so tomorrow morning, 8:30, Eastern Standard or Eastern?
Eastern,
Okay.
yeah.
So 8:30 tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time on Simply.Insanity's IG page.
Right here.
And Liberty Mel's page as well.
It won't be streaming from her. I'm hosting.
Oh, okay. Simply Insanity.
And then we got 7 o'clock live where the Polita guys are going to get out there and talk with. Who are y'all talking with, Mark?
Yeah, so Mark, you want
Oliver and
You want to speak on that, Mark?
Well, we've got Oliver, and we've got that from Right Winged Angel, and we have Brian. Well, I'm surprised he's not on tonight with us tonight on the feed here, but from Counterthought. Sorry. And the funny thing is, I have not. What are you laughing at, Mel?
She's not the only one laughing.
I know.
Oh, I know. I have never seen Oliver speak or heard him speak, so it'll be interesting.
The Right Wing Angel is very well. I've known him for years. I met him through Kingface, and he has a very, very big following. And he's always posting great content. He has a YouTube channel. He has a clothing brand where he sells his podcast. So bringing him on to get his point of view is going to be great. I spoke to him prior to him coming on. He's very excited. We're excited that he's coming on, and also Brian from Counterthought, which Macy introduced me into, and he's just been like, I told Macy this offline. There's offline again, that he's just really so great to talk to. Like,
It's very easygoing.
Yeah, it could be political. It could be just sports stuff. He's just really, really easy to talk to and a straight shooter. And I'm really excited that we're getting the opportunity to talk to him and Oliver, aka the Right Winged Angel. And like I said, it's going to be a big day for us both tomorrow because I'm going to be tuning in. I'm going to have my cup of coffee. I'm going to be in my robe with my newspaper, and I'm going to be checking out the gals.
Listen, I might be in my robe with my newspaper as well. I'm not going to lie. That's early.
Well, at least you won't be rolling out of the sack like you were when I had my live one day.
Oh, God.
And she actually picked up the phone in the phone.
I promise to be wearing a bra. Like,
you don't need to wear a bra.
I'll be fully dressed because I'll be in my
Let's not
car.
go that far.
Mel, are you going to be driving?
No, I have to wait for the bus to drop off so I can put Kaden on the bus. So,
okay. That's
yeah.
Lance down below, your comment, you're going to want to tune in to the Polita Girls chat tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning because we are talking about a lot of those topics. That's going to be those are kind of going to be our focuses. So if you're interested in those topics, definitely come visit us in the morning on my channel, and we'll definitely be hitting on those.
Hey, Aqua Design is back. Hi, Aqua. Okay, so just
I
reading
think
some.
Mark froze.
Yeah, Marcus Rose. So just reading some comments here. So Lance, yeah, just check out the girls' page. They're gonna talk about everything you just mentioned there in your comments, transgenderism, everything. So I'm guessing you guys watch the Greg Gutfield show sometimes.
No idea.
He's on one of Fox. He's Fox and Friends.
No, he's got his own show,
Oh, he does?
Gutfield and Friends, or something like that.
Yeah. So one sports guy says, "Do you guys feel the midterms will be a red wave?" Anybody want to speak on that?
I'm worried about that.
Yeah, with the way things are going, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think you'd be
They're
a
trying
fool
to
to say.
pull
I
all
think
the
you'd be a fool to say
stops.
yes.
Well, I don't know if you guys just heard. France, they reelected Macron back, and they're people over there are talking about a revolution because they don't want him back in office, and there might be some voter.
Well, I don't know if you guys noticed, like in the smaller elections where you guys are at, how some people have been they've been kicked off the ballot for stupidity, oh, for not naming the proper town, or you can't, like one guy that I follow, he was trying to run for a Staten Island office and he got kicked out because everybody, that put their signatures wrote Staten Island, and they were like, no, you need to specify we're in Staten Island.
Wow.
So. Yeah, so that's where I'm like, I don't think this is heading in the right direction. They're trying to do everything and anything in their power to take away the people that they don't want from the ballot, starting from now. So this is where, as small as a school election is, to as big as getting a seat in some type of office, it's happening everywhere.
3 people just booted from the GOP ballot, and when I actually called the office, you want to hear their reasoning? Their reasoning is because they were not, these are the exact words, bona fide Republicans. Could that sound any more Southern?
Wow.
What?
Wait, so
Is this Robbie Starbucks?
So
Yes,
question, do they get, so they're completely taken off the ballot? There's no one else in that party that represents that position on that ballot?
There are 10 people, I believe, running for that position. But those 3 were stricken from the ballot because at first they said they hadn't lived here long enough, but then they proved that wasn't true. And then all of a sudden it was because they were not bona fide Republicans. And I asked the lady at the office, at the GOP office in Tennessee, I was like, what exactly is a bona fide Republican?
Did she know? Did she know the answer though?
She goes, well, ma'am, I'm sure there's an explanation of what. And I'm like, so you were given a script to give to me. And she's like, well, you can look at so-and-so. So I'm like, I've already read that. I don't need that. I need you to tell me what a bona fide Republican is. Because let's say
Numbers
that sounds
McGee.
like gatekeeping.
Don't get Numbers McGee started because she'll open up that
Oh
can.
boy.
So yeah, we're on. We got like maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes left. So just wanted to talk about our 3rd episode for the Politics Plus podcast debuts next week. Make sure you guys are on the lookout for that. Some interesting topic we have that we're going to tackle, as always. So make sure you guys are on the lookout for that as well. Let's see if I can read some more of these questions here. So a sports guy says, Hunter is another punk that needs to be taken down. Correct. Trump is a businessman. Biden never had a real job.
That is true.
That is true too, yeah. Let's add and possibly World War III with Russia because of President Biden. Very true. Biden equals make America worse again. Here's a very good question, and thanks for this by one sports guy. Do you think Elon would possibly think about moving into politics?
No, because he would have to pick a party, and he's a libertarian, and he's a very, very solid libertarian. And as we know, they get mad when libertarians want to.
Can you imagine him? Can you imagine him in a debate though? How fun that would be to watch.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it would be a pleasure just to watch his facial expressions before he actually answers every time. I would love it.
Well, Misha, if he's a libertarian, then I mean, could that could he want to push for? I know this is something that's always you're real passionate about. Is why we have just two parties. Would he he has the resources, the financial resources to push for starting a third party.
Well, but I mean, there's already more than a dozen parties. Like
Right.
America First is actually a party. Like there's actually,
Right. Yeah,
and there was before Trump.
Yep.
That was a thing before Trump. You've got libertarians. We've got all of these different views, but
different
we
sects.
only give traction to the two major. There's counterthought. We were just talking about Love. There are two main political parties, and it's like if you don't fall in one of those two boxes, you don't exist. No matter how much money you have, no matter how much power you have, you can't. You're treading water.
Yeah. No.
My turn, Mark.
Sorry.
I said it's my turn. I had to call.
Want to give a shout out to Connor Thought. He just joined us.
Hey, it's about freaking time.
Yeah, just make sure you guys are all following and checking out Connor Thought's podcast. He has a YouTube channel. He has very great content, and he's usually on live. He was on live earlier with that Liberty chick.
Hey, Danny.
Make sure you guys go check out Connor. Connor Thought's going to be on live with us tomorrow, so looking forward to that.
I can't see him in the feed because it always just freezes on me. I can't see anything on the feed. But
he just said, "Sorry, I'm late. Fell asleep putting my youngest to bed." Connor is all good. No worries.
No, it's not. What the hell, man?
What I want to tell Brian is I forgot the name of his IG handle just a minute ago. So sorry.
Well, it's up here, so let me put him.
We talked about.
Did you guys see the question from Aqua Designs? I see that one. I have like 3 that are frozen on my screen. She's one of them. Is Dr. Oz legit? What do you think about Dr. Oz?
No,
absolutely not. He's the one that was talking recently about transgender kids.
Yeah, don't trust him as far as I could throw
that.
him. Yeah,
that really bothered me to hear that.
Yeah, that pissed me off so much.
So it doesn't take much to change me when it comes to how I feel about you. When you start talking that kind of stuff.
I think we have all strong feelings about our children, let alone our own children, but other children, and how impressionable they are. And you keep your hands off of kids, like seriously.
Yeah. Damn right.
What was it I posted the other day? If you fuck with my kids, I'll identify you as a piñata. True story.
Yeah.
Piñata, target practice,
Yeah, I'm far enough in the woods that I don't have to use you as a piñata. I can use you as a moving target. So
yeah.
Yeah, makes you tie you down and tie you to some train tracks.
That takes all the sportsmanship out of it. You got to make sure they're moving. It's like skeet shooting.
No, this is after they've been plummeted and just like this is like just a bow. Yeah, so we're gonna come to an end here, guys. So any last? We have 2 minutes. We have a minute.
Good luck on your girls' morning tomorrow morning, guys.
Yeah,
I'll try and
Mason and Mel. Good luck tomorrow morning. You guys are gonna have a great time. Make sure to share. Your
likewise for you guys.
So I just read Counter's question. He says, "Can y'all go another hour since I just showed up?"
No, some of us have to go to work.
Yeah,
he'll have to wait till tomorrow night at 7:00, I guess.
Yeah.
8:30.
Yeah,
8:30 in the morning.
No, I'm saying 7:00 for us. I mean.
Oh yeah.
To actually go on.
No, we're gonna be on at 8:00, 7:00 Central, because Oliver, aka Red Wing Angel, is in Texas. Counter is in Florida, and me and Marcus are up north. So it'll be 8:00 Eastern Standard Time.
8:00 Eastern?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 7 Central Standard Time. But the girls are gonna rock it. I have no doubt they're gonna rock it. Kendall's gonna be great. You guys are gonna have a grand old time. Make sure to check them out on Simply Insanity's page. She's gonna have the feed, and then the guys. I guess I'll start it on my page on Danny Neighbor 2.0.
Is that 8:30, Mom?
8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep.
We have 30 seconds. Any last parting remarks?
See you, Brian.
Yeah, everybody in the comment section, thank you for joining us. You know, we're on every Wednesday. You get to see these three beautiful people plus myself. Every Wednesday at 9
Plus
p.m.
myself.
Politics Plus podcast is here, baby, and brand new episode coming next week. Thank you guys for joining us.
Bye.
Ta-ta.
Bye bye.